Good morning, Jessica. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you? Sorry I can't be down there with you.
I know we wish you were here. What I am really excited to be talking to you about our eighth food forum coming up this just in a few short weeks.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I mean, to think that we started this 12 years ago and that we keep on rolling along. And there are so many things to talk about and so many things to investigate. And this year's going to be fun.
I think this is going to be fun. So before we tell everyone what we're going to be doing this year, maybe for those who haven't been to a food forum yet, Jessica, maybe you can tell us. I mean, this was your brainchild that you brought to us to start with us here 12 years ago. So maybe you can give us kind of an overview of what the food forum is all about.
Well, I could go on and on and on for years probably about that, but in very brief compass, the Food Forum was designed to celebrate the foodways, and that is everything involved in the eating, the drinking, the partying, even perhaps the carousing of the city of New Orleans and Southern Louisiana in general, and then connecting through that to a wider Creole world, to the American hemisphere, and beyond that to the world at large. And so I think it's about celebrating New Orleans, and celebrating New Orleans is connections and collections, because it is the collection.
It is the collection and about the connections. That's a great segue. And you just mentioned just now celebrating a couple of times. We've been through a hard couple of years here around the world with the pandemic. We've been through a hard time down here in Louisiana and the Gulf Coast recently with Hurricane Ida. And so when you and I were talking last year about what we wanted this to be, you talked about celebrating.
Absolutely. Sort of like the song, Celebrate Good Times, Come On. Okay, it's time to celebrate the good times. And nowhere in my knowledge, or very few places in the world, celebrate with the just plain unabandoned glee of New Orleans.
Yes.
So we're going to celebrate.
So we're going to celebrate this year.
So you tell us what we're celebrating.
All right. Well, yeah. So, you and I were talking last year. We were talking about how at the beginning of every season, people love to celebrate whatever's coming out that season. So it's the beginning of winter, it's king cake season. As we get into the spring, it's crawfish season. And then of course there's all the festivals that come out and all the delicious festival food that you get to eat in late spring. And so we decided to break it up into 4 parts this year. So it's a 4-part event instead of a 1-day food forum. And at the beginning of every season, we're going to have an edition of the food forum where we're going to be talking about some of the wonderful foods that we get to celebrate from that season. So we're kicking it off with fall on November 6th here at the collection. We're going to be doing partly virtual because we're still in that time and we want everyone wherever they are to be able to join us. But we're going to be talking about tailgating and second line foods because that's what's happening right here in New Orleans. But we're also going to do partly in person because we know that people want to celebrate and get together. So we're going to be having a tailgate style reception that evening on November 6th. So that is the program for this season. And then we'll be announcing details about winter coming out soon.
I can't wait.